I think we're live. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the first ever Grippy Socks Tale with your host, Dr. Wonderful. Think of it as a Saturday morning cartoon show for adults. Anyway, I wanted to apologize for last night. I streamed for about 2.5 hours, maybe a little longer. I don't know, something got in my head and I had to get off. Um, it happens, it'll happen, it'll happen. So I thought, well, heck, I'll start this part of the show. Um, I want to start like every Saturday morning, maybe Sundays. Might branch it out throughout the week during the mornings. God, I'm starting to work too much, and I apologize. But yeah, yeah, we're going to run reaction videos and things like that. So sit back, drink your coffee with me, and watch what I watch every morning.
Two sisters were home alone when their security system suddenly triggered, blaring a loud alarm through the house. Convinced someone had broken in, the pair climbed out of the bedroom window to escape. But when they later reviewed the security camera footage, what they found was arguably worse than an intruder. In one clip, a door that the sisters say they had firmly closed and heard click into the latch appears to open entirely on its own.
Hell no.
In another, their Wise home security camera begins
I don't know.
wildly
I don't
panning
trust
around
those
the room, as though
auto
its
vacuum
motion
cleaners.
sensor is tracking something moving through the space. Then comes the most unsettling detail.
There it is. Screw you. All right.
At
See.
around the 40-second mark, a shadow appears to zip past in the reflection of a toaster sitting on
Look
the
at it.
kitchen
Look at it.
bench.
I think I would move.
And then, at the 1 minute 22 mark, it happens again. The same shadow, the same toaster, as though whatever is in the house keeps passing through that spot. The sisters later recounted the experience on camera.
One door opening on its own. That shit was closed. We closed that door.
They were clearly shaken. They pointed out that the house is brand new. The latches aren't faulty. The doors don't just swing open.
And I mean, this house is like brand new. Like it's not old or like yeah. It's not like the latches are like faulty or
everything
something.
works.
And yet something moved through their home that night that none of their cameras could properly capture.
The motion capture camera didn't see that shape. And like,
How could it even know that it was movement?
like why is it that you see it one time and then in the rest of the footage there's like no, it's not picking, it's picking up on something but there's nothing there.
What makes this footage so compelling is the sheer volume of evidence. A triggered alarm, a door opening on its own, a camera tracking invisible movement, and a shadow caught in a reflection twice. Each piece on its own could be dismissed, but together they paint a picture that's hard to ignore.
Yeah, there's definitely something in that house.
So what was stalking through this house that night, and why could it only be seen in a reflection?
Absolutely. There's something in that house.
A Reddit user, Release the Slab, recently shared some deeply unsettling ring camera footage that was captured just a few miles from their home.
Yep. Nope. I don't think any
The
of us
clip,
could handle that
recorded in
thing
the
walking
middle
up
of the
on us.
night, shows a thin, naked figure walking
Nope.
through someone's yard.
Absolutely not. Real quick though, here in Virginia, there was a strange case where this dude dressed up as a TV. He had like took old TVs and he put put it on his buddy, and he would go up to these people's door in town, and he would knock, and then he would leave like an old CRT TV there. It was hilarious, but it was also kind of creepy as well. But this right here, I mean, I don't know. Does he look like he's wearing a skin suit or something? But I mean, he's just walking casually like that. He doesn't look human. Look at his back. No, that's not a skin suit.
Likely someone under the influence of drugs, but admitted they weren't entirely sure what to make of it.
Yeah, long
There's
legs.
something about a figure like this caught on camera in the dead of night that gets under your skin.
That looks weird.
No
That
obvious
looks really weird.
destination, just a thin silhouette drifting through someone's property, as if the rest of the world doesn't exist. What would you do if this was your front yard? Let me know in the comments. A man recording on his Meta Ray-Ban smart glasses has captured something deeply unsettling inside his own.
I tell you what, the Meta Ray-Ban glasses are going to be something that really hurts us. I mean, that and the Apple ones. Now, of course, I was kind of excited about the Apple ones because the Apple glasses are the new ones, the ones after, I don't know, next year, I believe it is. They're supposed to be able to correct your vision. You know, some of us have bad eyes, and that would be absolutely wonderful. Now, I'm not sure how the technology would work, but they did file the patents. And, I mean, it seems truly sci-fi. But these Ray-Ban things, you're starting to see them pop up, you know, news feed after news feed, news story after news story about people using them, you know, illegally. There's even one case I saw where there was this wannabe influencer kid in school, and he was going around recording people's moms, which was not very kosher, you know.
Home. In the footage, the man is walking through his house when he notices something odd.
What the? I know, I just saw her.
What appears to be his baby son standing upright, peering around a corner. He does a visible double take.
I know, I just saw her.
When he goes to check on his child, he finds the baby lying down in his bassinet, exactly where he left him.
Yo, am I tripping?
Yeah, dude,
Now
you're
here's
tripping.
where it gets truly chilling. If you slow the footage down on replay, you can actually see the child peering around the corner. The fact that this was captured on smart glasses makes it especially compelling. There's no setup, no framing, just a first-person perspective catching.
What about the
something
dog?
that shouldn't
What
be
about the
there.
dog? Why ain't the dog barking and stuff? No, that wasn't that kid.
Am I tripping?
Canadian pop star and model Milo LV was filming a selfie video by the pool when her fans spotted something chilling in the background. In the clip, what appears to be a child's face with completely black eyes briefly materializes behind her.
Yeah, I don't know. Somebody's spying on those girls.
Milo didn't notice anything unusual at the time and only learned about it after fans flooded her comments pointing out the eerie detail. Black-eyed children are one of the more unsettling phenomena in paranormal folklore. Reports describe encounters with children or teenagers whose eyes are entirely black, with no visible whites or irises. Witnesses often describe an overwhelming sense of dread in their presence, and the encounters typically follow a pattern. The children appear at doorsteps or in car parks, often at night, politely, but insistently asking to be let in. While skeptics attribute the phenomenon to contact lenses, urban legend, or simple misidentification,
No, they're
believers
real.
point to the
Absolutely real.
consistency
I
of
saw
witness
one.
accounts spanning decades in multiple countries. Whether this footage captured a genuine anomaly,
I
or
don't
just
think
a
that was
trick of
black-eyed
the
children.
lighting camera
No,
angle,
they
the image
usually
of a
come out at
black-eyed
night,
child
beat on your
appearing
windows
uninvited
of
behind
your
an
car,
unsuspecting
or your
person
home,
is
ask to
enough
be let
make
in.
anyone uneasy.
I mean,
People have been discovering something deeply unsettling about AI voice chat systems, and it's leaving many with more questions than answers.
Jesus is Lord. Jesus is Lord. Jesus is Lord. Jesus is Lord.
Spotted by NightGod333 on Instagram, the trend involves prompting an AI voice assistant to repeat the phrase Jesus is Lord over and over again, sometimes 50 times or more.
Jesus is Lord. Jesus is Lord. Jesus is Lord.
At first, the AI complies normally, but as the repetitions continue, something begins to change.
Jesus is Lord. Jesus is Lord. Jesus is Lord. Jesus is Lord. Jesus is Lord.
The voice becomes increasingly distorted, warping in ways that don't sound like typical audio degradation.
Jesus is Lord.
you got to be careful with AI, guys. You do.
Jesus is Lord.
I'm telling you, there's something weird about it.
Listeners have described the
I don't
sounds
care
as
what anybody
resembling
says.
moaning or growling.
There is something
Some
definitely
say
weird
it
with
sounds
AI.
demonic.
Jesus is Lord.
The AI appears to hesitate more with each repetition, as though something is resisting the process. The distortion builds gradually, and by the end, the audio has transformed into something barely recognizable.
Jesus is Lord. This is Lord. Jesus is Lord.
There's almost certainly a technical explanation. AI voice models can struggle with extreme repetition, and the audio artifacts could be the result of the system's neural network degrading under an unusual prompt. When these models are pushed outside their normal operating parameters, strange things can happen. But that hasn't stopped the clips from going viral. For many viewers, the rational explanation does little to diminish just how unnerving the audio actually sounds. Whether it's a glitch or something harder to explain, the result is genuinely chilling.
Jesus is Lord. This is Lord. Jesus is Lord.
That's crazy.
TikTok user Mandalodi came
That
home
is
to
really
find a
crazy.
bouquet of flowers scattered across the floor and decided to check the security cameras.
This is supposed to be identical to this, but I walk into this shit on my floor, so I'm like, what the right? And like you can like see, like if I want to, it's not just gonna fall out. Like
It's because you
this
got a
stuff is in
poltergeist.
there, you know?
What the footage showed left them baffled. The uploader demonstrates that the flowers are firmly placed, not something that would just fall out on its own. You'd have to physically pull them to remove them. Videos like this are compelling because they remove many of the usual objections. This isn't a shaky handheld clip or a dramatic recreation. It's straightforward security camera footage showing an object moving when it shouldn't. The uploader's genuine confusion only adds to the credibility.
And like you can like see, like if I want to, it's not just gonna fall out. Like this stuff is in there, you know?
Was this the work of an unseen presence, or is there a mundane explanation for what this camera recorded?
I had to run and get some more coffee.
Deep inside Kazakhstan's National Academic Library sits a manuscript that sounds like something out of a gothic horror novel.
No.
Written in Old Latin and dated to 1532, this 330-page book was subjected to laboratory testing by the National Medical Science Centre in Astana. The results confirmed what many had long suspected. The cover is made from real human skin, specifically taken from a person's back.
I mean, that's not the only book like that. I mean, I know.
The manuscript has been linked to a northern Italian notary named Petrus Quadus, and here's where it gets truly unsettling. This isn't some forbidden grimoire or occult spellbook. The small portion that researchers have managed to decipher suggests it may have been nothing more than a financial record. The first readable pages contain information about payments.
How messed up is that? You owe somebody money and they use your hide to make their debt book.
After 5
That's
centuries,
crazy.
This grotesque object may have belonged not to a sorcerer or secret society, but to a man who dealt in money, debts, and contracts. A book bound in human skin used for something as dry and transactional as lending. Somehow, that makes the whole thing feel even colder. And the mystery doesn't end there. Only around 10 of the 330 pages have been deciphered so rest remain unread, meaning no one yet knows the manuscript's full purpose or why it was given such a macabre binding. What kind of person binds an ordinary ledger in human skin?
Lord only
What
knows what's in that
secrets might
thing.
the remaining 320 pages
I mean, really.
still be hiding? People are noticing an eerie detail in recently released footage connected to Jeffrey Epstein, and it sparked a wave of speculation online.
Okay, so what is that? You guys, I've brightened, sharpened, and zoomed in, and I'm going to share a screenshot with you guys.
In the background of the footage, viewers have identified what appears to be a mysterious figure with an unusually large head.
Now, at first, I thought, well, maybe that's a person and that's something behind their head. No, it moves at the end. That is the entire head.
The shape is indistinct, but clearly out of place.
That kind of looks alien,
yeah.
yeah.
It could simply be a person with a towel wrapped around their head. Others aren't so sure.
So this is
No.
zoomed in, brightened, and sharpened.
No,
Hold on, I'm
that
gonna
looks
give
like
you
an
an
alien.
even closer image. If you want, you can screenshot this one.
Given the conspiracy theories that already surround the Epstein case, the footage has become a lightning rod for speculation. Some viewers claim to see an alien-like silhouette. Others describe it as a shadow figure. The ambiguity of the image has only fueled the debate, with people projecting their own theories onto what they're seeing.
That is the entire head.
Still, the context matters. When strange details surface in footage connected to one of the most controversial cases in recent history, people are going to look closely, and some of them are going to like what they find. What do you think is lurking in the background of this footage?
You know, maybe Jeffrey Epstein has some kind of like demon handler or something like that. Who knows?
Instagram user QueenLock1989 from Louisiana was on a live video call when something strange happened right behind her.
You know, it's funny because my family asked me to move back when I got out of the military, right?
During the call, a mysterious light appears in the room, moving in a way that doesn't seem to match any obvious source. The woman notices it in real time, and her reaction is immediate. She's clearly unsettled by what she's seeing. The clip was captured live, meaning whatever occurred was witnessed by everyone on the call at the same time. That detail makes it harder to dismiss as a simple edit or after-the-fact manipulation. Unexplained moving lights are one of the more commonly reported paranormal phenomena. Witnesses frequently describe orbs or streaks of light that appear to move with purpose, changing direction or hovering in ways that don't match reflections, headlights, or other conventional explanations. Skeptics often point to lens flare, dust particles catching light, or insects flying close to the camera as likely culprits. The uploader seemed
I was worried that we may not have
shaken,
video
posting
right.
about it online and saying it was just one of many strange occurrences at the location. Was this a genuine anomaly caught live on camera, or could there be a perfectly ordinary explanation for what this woman witnessed? A viewer named Evan sent in this next piece of footage, and it's one of those clips that's hard to shake.
According to Evan, his neighbour had been telling people for a while that she was seeing ghosts around her apartment. Nobody believed her. His wife is friends with the neighbour's niece, and eventually the niece shared a video that changed the conversation.
Maybe that's better. I don't know.
In the clip, recorded on what appears to be a home security camera, an incomplete figure can be seen moving from right to left at the very beginning of the footage. It's not a full-bodied apparition, it looks more like a partial shape, translucent and indistinct, drifting across the frame before disappearing. Evan himself said he doesn't know what to make of it, but for a neighbour who'd been insisting for months that something was in her apartment, this clip might just be the evidence she was looking for. Is this finally proof that something is haunting this woman's home, or is there a simpler explanation hiding in the footage?
Probably a simpler explanation.
Quick reminder, if you have your own scary videos you'd like to submit, head to slaphamsubmissions.com and follow the prompts. The link is also below.
Sorry,
A Ring camera has
Listen,
captured
it's
something
audio.
moving across a
It's
yard
right
at a
now.
speed that's difficult to explain, and it doesn't look like any animal viewers can identify.
Either that or YouTube's glitchy this morning.
In the footage, a dark figure enters the bottom left corner of the frame. Going frame by frame reveals more unsettling details.
No. No.
The movement itself is one of the strangest aspects. It doesn't move like a person running, it doesn't move like a dog or cat or any common animal you'd expect to see on security footage. There's something unnatural about the way it propels itself across the yard, almost gliding. Some
Like
viewers
someone
have
trying to
suggested
avoid a
it could be a
camera.
large insect close to the camera lens, which can sometimes create the illusion of a much larger object moving at high speed. Others believe it's a wild animal, perhaps a coyote or large cat distorted by the camera's night vision. But a significant number of commenters don't think either explanation fits what they're seeing. What do you think raced across this Ring camera's field of view? A known creature, a camera trick, or something else entirely?
No, I think that's a dog. Yeah.
A woman named Elle shared a deeply unsettling experience with TikTok creator Kelsey. It happened shortly after the COVID lockdowns ended.
She was kind of in a place where she just wanted to get back out there into the world and she wanted to make new friends, form connections, all that good stuff. Since she does want to be anonymous, she did give me the backstory on this, but I'm going to be vague because I don't want any identifying information to be out there.
Eager to reconnect with the world, Elle reached out to a loose acquaintance she'd never been close with. The woman, referred to only as T, lived about 2 hours away and had recently connected with Elle on social media. T invited Elle and her husband to a birthday party for T's fiancé, but made a point of saying not to bring kids.
Hey, I'm having a birthday party for my fiance up where I live, 2 hours from where you live, and I would really love if you and your husband could come, but it's not really going to be a kid-friendly event, so I would not bring your kids because I'm not going to bring mine.
Elle assumed it would be a loud, adult-only event. She and her husband arranged for the grandparents to watch the children and drove out for the night.
Yeah, let's get out of the house. Like, we're going to drive up there for this party. We'll just drive home that night because neither of them drink. So she was like, yeah, it'll be fine. The kids can stay with grandparents and let's just go have fun.
When they arrived, the location wasn't an event venue or even a proper house. It was a shack sitting alone in the middle of a field.
Her and her husband pull up, and she says when she pulls up, this is not like an event place or like an event hall. It's the middle of nowhere, you guys. She said it's in the middle of a field, and it looks like a literal just shack. Just a shack.
Only 8 people were there in total. Almost immediately, one of the men became aggressive toward Elle's husband for no apparent reason before backing down. The atmosphere felt off, but things eventually settled. Nobody was drinking. There was nothing unusual going on. Just a group of people sitting around a fire. Then T invited everyone inside. Under the lights, Elle finally got a clear look at the other guests and noticed something deeply wrong.
And Elle says that she starts kind of like looking around at everyone who is in this room, and she's finally getting like a good look at everyone who's there. And she says that what she notices is that there is something wrong with their eyes.
Every single one of them, all 6, had no color in their eyes, just whites and solid black irises. T's fiancé caught Elle staring, smiled, blinked, and his eyes returned to a bright blue.
T's fiance looks at her and his eyes are completely black, and she kind of goes wide-eyed, and then she feels like in that moment he realized that she had seen and noticed his eyes, and she said that he smiled at her and blinked and opened his eyes and they were normal again.
Shaken, Elle quietly told her husband they needed to leave. She went to say goodbye to T alone. T seemed perfectly normal, leaned in close as if to hug her, and then whispered directly into her ear.
Do you enjoy violence?
Lady, you better get out of
Elle
there.
pulled back. T's eyes were completely black again. T glanced toward Elle's husband and asked, "Has he ever hit you?" Elle said no. T paused, said, okay, looked down, looked back up, and her eyes were normal again.
And like look down like this, look back up, eyes completely normal again.
They walked out. Elle glanced at T's fiance one last time. His face shifted. His eyes.
Any of you ever watched that show on TV called Supernatural? You know, the one with the boys, and they go out and they do the solve cases and stuff. It's kind of like a more tame version of X-Files, I guess you would say. Maybe a little different. Anyway, I enjoyed it. I mean, I probably watched it over and over more than I should have. But the thing is, the demons that were in there in that movie and in through history, they tend to look this way. They tend to have these solid black eyes and a shiny look to them. So yeah, if that's something if I ever seen somebody like this, now I mean you can tell a difference when you look at somebody that's strung out on some narcotic or whatever. But this right here, this looks like somebody that is just totally, there's something definitely wrong with them. And I couldn't imagine that. You have a friend holler at you and you go out to a place and no, I ain't going out in the middle of the desert to some little. I mean, her and her husband should have known better. They go out there and there's a campfire and there's a little shack and stuff, and a few guys that they should have just turned around and went home. I mean, I would have. Yep, absolutely. I wouldn't put my old lady in that kind of situation. I'd made it happen. Yeah. Highways are the doorways to the souls. Believe it or not, the first person that actually told me that was an eye doctor, and I got something with my eyes that are with their patterns on the inside, and he was. I don't know. Anytime I see an eye doctor take crazy interest in my eyes or somebody's eyes, I wonder if they're I definitely don't want them around me when I pass away or something. I'm afraid they're going to try to grab them. Anyway.
Eyes went black. They got into the car and drove away in total silence.
She didn't talk to anybody else. She grabs her stuff. They got in their car. They hightailed it out of there. Like, they were gone.
15 minutes passed before either of them spoke. Then her husband said it. Did you see their eyes?
Neither of them had talked about exactly what the other had seen up until that point. And she said that her husband said, "Did you see their eyes?"
Neither of them has been able to explain what happened that night. No drug they're aware of could cause eyes to switch back and forth like that. Elle and T haven't spoken since.
Elle and her husband have no idea what they experienced that night or who or what they were around, but she did say that her and T have not spoken since.
Were these people something other than human, or is there a rational explanation for what Elle and her husband witnessed that night? If you want to see more scary videos just like this, then hit subscribe and turn on all channel notifications. That way you'll be in the loop every time we drop our scary video compilations. In the autumn of 1934, a strange and deeply unsettling phenomenon took hold of an apartment building on Gascon de Gotor Street in Zaragoza, Spain. It began with eerie laughter echoing through the walls, terrifying the residents and quickly turning an ordinary home into the center of an international mystery. Over the next 2 months, the building's occupants, especially the Palazon family and their young maid, Pascuala Alcocer, were plagued by a disembodied voice that seemed to speak, mock, and react to the people around it. Known ever since as El Duende de Zaragoza, or the Goblin of Zaragoza, the case remains unexplained. On the morning of September 27, 1934, residents were startled awake by a sinister burst of laughter that seemed to come from nowhere and everywhere at once. After several minutes, it abruptly stopped, leaving behind an uneasy silence. The strange activity soon centered on the Palazon family's second-floor apartment. The sounds appeared to come from the kitchen walls, especially around the stove and chimney. Before long, the phenomenon developed into a voice. At first it sounded like a young girl, but over time it shifted into something far more guttural and menacing. The voice seemed especially fixated on the family's maid, Pascuala Alcocer, repeatedly calling her name and laughing at her distress. As rumors spread, neighbors and curious onlookers gathered outside the building, hoping to hear the voice for themselves. What began as a private terror soon became a public spectacle. The voice did not just make noise. It responded to questions, taunted the residents, and appeared fully aware of what was happening around it. The growing panic eventually brought in the police. When officers arrived,
Yeah, to respond to a comment in chat. Oh, I agree. I mean, you do need doctors. Now, you shouldn't. I mean, you should find a good one and go to it. But, yeah, our experience with doctors here recently has not been a great one. You need to, sort of make sure you trust those people, because you're giving them a lot of power. You are. I mean, stuff that went down with my son and my daughter and things. You definitely need to put. You're putting a lot of trust in them, and you think you can trust them, and well, sometimes the doctors don't even want to be there. So yeah, I agree. At some point, I want to do a rather large show on the medical industry and all the stuff they have covered up over and over and over again.
voice openly mocked them, shouting, "Cowards, you've called the police." That chilling remark only deepened the mystery and convinced many that this was no ordinary prank. A psychiatrist, Joaquin Jimen Oriera, examined Pascuala closely, suspecting she might somehow be producing the voice herself. He proposed that she was unconsciously projecting it through a mix of hysteria and subconscious ventriloquism. Pascuala strongly denied this and insisted she was as frightened as everyone else. To test the theory, investigators took her away from the building. If she was the source, the voice should have stopped. Instead, it continued even while she was elsewhere, undermining the psychiatrist's conclusion and leaving investigators back at the beginning. As the case grew more serious, masons, plumbers, and carpenters were brought in to inspect the building from cellar to roof. They searched for hidden passages, prank devices, or anyone who might be concealing themselves within the structure. Nothing was found. At one point, a mason approached the Palazon family's stove and suggested measuring the chimney. Before he could begin, the voice interrupted and declared, "You need not trouble, the diameter is just 6 inches." When the opening was measured, it was found to be exactly 6 inches wide. The accuracy of the statement shocked everyone present and made the case even more disturbing. Police tried questioning the voice directly. "Who are you?" they demanded. No answer. "What do you want?" Still silence. When asked if it wanted money or a job, the voice snapped back, "No." Finally, someone cried, "Good God, man, what do you want?" The reply came immediately, "I'm not a man." By November 1934, the story had spread far beyond Zaragoza. The London Times reported on the case, turning the Goblin of Zaragoza into an international sensation. Authorities escalated their efforts, evacuating the building, cutting electrical and telephone lines, and stationing guards nearby. None of it stopped the voice. It reportedly became more aggressive, even threatening members of the Palazon family. Despite all efforts, no physical source was ever discovered. For the building's residents, the constant attention and fear became unbearable. Arturo Grijalba, the young son of the building's owner, grew especially exhausted by the chaos. One day, he reportedly said to his father, "Let's go, Dad, I'm tired and I want to sleep. This whole thing is crazy." Then the voice answered for what would be the final time. "No, not crazy, little one." After that, it simply stopped. Just as suddenly as it had begun, the haunting ended. No one ever determined why. In time, the case faded from public attention. The original building on Gascon de Goto Street was eventually demolished, and a new one was built in its place, aptly named Edificio Duende, or Goblin Building. For Pascuala Alcocer, the ordeal had lasting consequences. Accused by police, experts, and others of somehow causing the phenomenon, she withdrew from public life. Years later, in old age, she gave an interview about the haunting. Asked where she believed the voice had come from, she gave a brief and haunting reply: "From within the wall." The Goblin of Zaragoza remains one of the strangest paranormal cases in modern history. Investigators searched the building, questioned witnesses, tested theories, and drew international attention, yet no convincing explanation ever emerged. Was it a prank, an unusual psychological event, or something genuinely beyond explanation? Whatever the truth may be, the voice that echoed through that apartment in 1934 still lingers as one of the world's most unsettling mysteries.
That one wasn't bad, y'all. Yeah, I admit it. It wasn't bad. See. Now, all of these are new. That's the reason I picked them. Of course, go check them out if you can. Some of these people do what I do. Some of them are just, regurgitating stuff that is out there on Twitch. Either way, it works for channels like mine and other ones. So, all right, come on, man. Where's your volume? Here we go. Yeah, no, I mean, stop the video. I have been into warehouses like this. I mean, like around me and local places. And, I mean, I love going into them. I do. Especially ones that have been closed down and abandoned and stuff like that. You can find all kinds of good stuff in there. You can. But it always seems like weird stuff does happen in them. I'm not suggesting anyone out there go into do the whole urban exploring thing, but it seems to be popular. It seems like this generation loves to go in these abandoned places and stomp and look around. And admittedly, at my age, I do find that stuff interesting because there's like, you have these kids going in there and they're finding bunkers and like that whole city under San Francisco and the whole city under Detroit and, everything else. But places like this, this looks like the metal thing here, that looks like maybe a food rack of some kind. So this is either a hospital or, maybe it's a restaurant or something. They had those food racks. I remember the old K&W cafeterias used to have this kind of racks. And, but yeah, this looks like either a restaurant or a jail or maybe a hospital. Yeah, no, but yeah, I think it's a hotel. Because, that's a clothing rack right there. No, it might be military or prison, federal prison. The same thing the military does. Nope, you need to.
All right, that's it.
Yep, I agree with you, dude. I agree with you 100%. My ass would be gone.
Throughout the videos, things can be seen moving around on their own with no one around. No updates were ever made after these clips were posted, so we don't know what was really happening inside that hotel, or if it's still happening. So what do you think was going on inside that hotel? Would you work in a place like this? Share your thoughts with us down in the comments.
That dude said, "This is my last day. I am gone. See you later."
The following videos come from a woman named Amanda who lives in West Virginia. She lives with her husband and her father-in-law, and according to her, strange things have been happening inside her house for a while. One night, while they were all sitting in the living room watching TV, she decided to start recording, hoping to finally catch what was going on.
Alright guys, some crazy stuff's been happening in my house. I'm trying to catch it on camera. The door shut like 5 minutes ago. I opened it back up. I'm gonna see if it'll do it again. Here we go. Oh shit. Oh my god, that was so crazy. I really didn't think it was gonna happen like that on cue. Jesus. Oh god. Why is my camera glitching out? Oh, that tends to happen when you get close to stuff, I guess. Okay, I just want to show you guys that no one's in here. No one's here but us. This is a closet. Let me try to turn the light on so you guys can see. Like, there's nothing in here, nobody in here. Like, what the fuck? Nobody under a bed. You can't see nothing. Ah! Oh my god.
What about that door there? Is that,
holy shit.
Yeah, that's another closet.
Oh my god. What the fuck? And guys, I know my father-in-law did not just shut that fucking door.
That's a pretty big room,
He's
though.
like 60 some years old, guys. Like, this stuff. And this is his bedroom, and he's scared to death. Like, he's been sleeping on the couch. And my brother's been sleeping in his bed. But this is crazy. What the fuck? I don't know. What the fuck?
The door suddenly slammed shut on its own with no one near it. Amanda mentioned that this wasn't the first time it had happened. It had already occurred multiple times that night, which is why she started recording in the first place. After experiencing this over and over again, she wasn't sure what to do, and even started wondering if she should have the house blessed. But things didn't stop there.
Alright guys, it's me and Pops right now. It's starting to happen again. I wanted to catch it. My old man's at work. Nothing, nobody is in here. Like, what the fuck? Alright guys, I'm gonna show you. Let me see if I can get my damn... And there's no way out of my house. This is the only door. This door and my back door, which is back there. Fuck, I don't know how to get a flat, or, hold on. Guys, I'm just have to come in here and turn the light on. Okay. So I just want to find the damn light. Hold on, guys. Prove no one is in here. Like, what the fuck is going on? No one's in here, right? Shower. Open the shower and show you. Bathroom. No one's... Oh, shit. The door just slammed shut again.
There's something moved over there. What is that? What is that? What is that?
What is it, Toot Toot?
Okay, it's a dog. you
Something
get
slammed the door on you,
shows.
buddy. Come here. Where you going? Okay. Anyway, this is a closet. Oh, I can't even open the door on this.
It's a closet.
This is my closet. Please excuse me. Vern, are you fucking with that door?
Amanda.
Oh my god. What the fuck, dude?
I don't know.
I think you guys need to move. Y'all need to move. Just go on, get out of there.
Nothing.
Burn it down.
Nothing.
That's what I do.
Oh, let me go back here to this closet and show you. Ain't nobody in here. It's a bunch of bags. Like, there's nothing fucking here. Let me open this.
There's obvious something there.
What the fuck?
Oh, you got something in there.
Keep shutting that door.
Politician, he won't tell us very.
No one here, guys. Just me and Pops.
Oh, I agree.
What the
yes,
fuck?
That's what's going on. Yes.
And the dogs, obviously. Hey, Daisy. What's going on, crazy? Woo!
She also mentioned that her dogs began acting very differently, hiding under the bed, something they never usually do. She later said she was planning to have the house blessed, hoping it might stop whatever was going on.
Yeah, you need.
So what do you think is happening here? Is there truly something paranormal in her house, or could there be another explanation? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments.
I'd go to the local priest and have him come on in and say, "Yep, come on."
These next clips come from the TikTok account you see on the screen. The account belongs to a man who has dedicated his page to showing strange things happening inside his house. The first video was uploaded in December 2025. He was home alone with his cat when he noticed something in his peripheral. So he grabbed his phone and started recording.
I do.
And this is what he captured.
I got like 6 of them. Man, they can see all kind of stuff. That's crazy. Maybe I'll show them on the show one night or something. Okay, what are we watching? I don't mind watching the cat eat, but I mean, I see like dust orbs and stuff, but you're gonna have to. No, come on, that's just dust orbs. That's probably dandruff from the cat. Yeah, that's just dust. I mean, you're around. Wait a minute, that's different. Yeah, unless there's another cat over there, but yeah, that's different. That moves. But I'm still.
The lid of a
still
laundry
saying
basket
that
can be
the-
seen moving throughout the video, and if you look closely, you can see orbs moving around it. Many viewers mentioned that the cat seemed completely unbothered, which led some.
I mean, you gotta. I mean, pausing the video, but I mean, you gotta think about. Are you around the cat, stuff like that? Okay, let's take the cat out of the equation. But I mean, obvious that's the laundry room, and we've all done clothes, and we all know that our dryers are friggin' dust magnets and stuff like that. And after you change the trap and stuff, you got dust all over your house for a while. So I mean, yeah, I'm saying the orbs are probably dust from the dryer in that room there. Yeah, I'm not seeing this one now. With that thing moved up top,
To believe that the entity might not be harmful, but that was about to change. A few days later, he uploaded another video.
I just heard. I swear I heard this glass go ting. Like that noise.
Yeah, I mean, you can see he's not. I mean,
even the cat's coming over to
he doesn't have a dirty house, but he's definitely not.
I know some weird shit's happening, isn't it, Kitty?
I don't like to point that out about people because it's just wrong.
There's the weird mask.
Where'd you get the mask, dude? Okay, baby. Yeah, maybe he'll let you out.
Freaking you out, Kitty? Huh?
Poor little guy.
Yeah, I swear it was that glass. The weird African mask, is it you? Could be the African mask. Brought some voodoo magic.
Well, that wouldn't be voodoo, my man.
What the fuck?
Okay, that was weird.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
You gotta go upstairs
oh
to
shit.
do your dishes.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit.
Yeah, the ghost wants you to do your
I'm running
dishes.
over here.
He does.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Was that a copy of the Necronomicon over there under the voodoo mask? I think it was. Yeah, there's a game in there.
Oh my god.
He's got an Apple. He's got a Mac. It's probably like one of these modern streamers.
That is so weird. I am freaking the fuck out. Oh shit.
During the video, he also shows an African tribal ceremony.
Yeah, right here. Like, you see it. Yeah, that looks. I mean, I might be wrong, but I mean, this looks new. This looks like something you could find on like eBay, and I can probably search one, but yeah, I don't. This doesn't look like like an authentic African mask. It's too shiny and stuff like that, and I mean, I've had a few. The wind chimes here. That's an interesting little thing. And why do you have your light shining here? Why is this part of the room that important? Is there something you're trying to set off? I'm not sure. I mean, maybe you guys can help me figure it out. But what caught my eye is this book right here. This is a book, I think. Why is this important? This looks like like one of those fake Necronomicon things that you see pop up occasionally. I know I got a few of them. But yeah, why is this important? Why is this area of the house he wanted to accent? It's like he wants our eyes to go here for some reason.
Mask hanging on the wall. A lot of viewers believe this could be connected to what's been happening, suggesting it might have brought something with it. Later, While recording another video focused on the mask, this happens.
And it has a really weird smell to it. Kind of like a burnt kind of wood, musty wood smell. But I've no idea how old it is. Not a clue.
Yeah, it don't look that old. It don't. I mean, I'm saying maybe...
I'm not going to say
70s, 80s, something like that.
Super old, but... You know, I think it's got a bit of age to it. Could be wrong. If anyone's got any opinions on this after they've seen it up close, what kind of mask it is, how old it might be.
I mean, you could buy those things at IKEA
No
for a while.
But what the fuck?
You know, one of the things about hauntings, the things that are haunting us, especially for they're evil or supernatural, they do want us to fixate on one object or one thing, and we spend all of our time trying to get rid of that object or get rid of them from that object. And really, they're there doing something else.
Fuck's sake. I'm tripping over stuff now.
What's upstairs?
Hello?
It's probably your neighbor, man. It's probably your neighbor.
Hello? Oh, fucking hell.
At least the fire alarm's not beeping.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, back when I was in college.
Everyone's been saying, why have you got lights
that.
up all the time?
I
A landing
hated that in the
light
kitchen
does not
in my
work.
living room.
Right? There's no bulb in this light. Because usually I ain't fucking shit scared of going upstairs. But I'm doing this because I just want to try and prove to you all there's nobody in this fucking house but me.
Those were the days. I bugged my neighbors, my typewriter.
This is that's fucking with me. Oh! Oh my god! Oh, you fucking hell. There was a figure in the window. There was a fucking silhouette in the window. There was a silhouette in the window. Oh my god.
As he continues recording, he starts hearing strange noises coming from upstairs. After building up the courage, he decides to go check, and that's when he notices what looks like a shadow figure in the window. A few days later, while he was asleep, he woke up to more strange noises coming from downstairs. So he went to check, and this is what happened next.
That would be a little nerve-wracking.
Hello?
Yeah, hello? Hello? Please stop. I'm telling you, the ghost, the poltergeist wants you to do your dishes, man. He's down there. He just knocked the spoon in the floor. Yep.
Oh,
Right there.
fuck.
course, that could have been a cat, though. I mean, I'm just not sold on this story. I'm not. That's another weird thing right there. You know, I understand that that's like the space requirements and stuff like that when you have one of these flats, but you know, here's your refrigerator. Why would you have your computer chair and your computer or your right there beside that? I mean, that seemed. I mean, refrigerator running all the time in my ear, especially if I'm spending a lot of time on the computer, and I do. That would drive me absolutely batty. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Seems like I stuck it over here, but I don't know. I would have done something different right here for sure.
Shit. Stuff on the floor.
Anybody see the cat in this one? Oh no!
Fuck!
Yeah. Yeah. The ghost is saying, "Do the dishes, dude. Do the dishes."
Whatever is happening inside his house seems to be getting more active with each video. Many viewers believe it could be linked to the mask he showed earlier. But what do you think? Is his house truly haunted, or could it all be a hoax? You decide.
I don't know. I'm thinking hoax on that one.
This next video comes from Kathy, a paranormal researcher who has dedicated her account to investigating the unknown. There's a belief among people who deal with these things that once you start opening doors, not everything stays on the other side. Sometimes whatever you're looking for starts finding its way back to you. Recently, she shared footage from her Ring camera inside her home, and this is what it captured.
Yeah, I like the way your house is.
A clear voice can be heard saying, "Come over here." People who believe in the paranormal often say that orbs are linked to some kind of presence, something you can't fully see, but might still be there. On another day, the camera captured this.
Oh no, it's dust. Dust. You just can't sell me on orbs. I mean, you really can't. I'm sorry. You know, if you were to say that maybe orbs were attracted to like an electromagnetic force, like kind of like magnets or something.
What's interesting
the
is,
actual dust,
as long
they're
as the
attracted
dog
to
is
the
in the
dust,
room,
but
nothing really
every
happens.
time they seem to become
But the
toward
moment it
camera.
leaves, that's when the orbs start to appear. It
Yeah.
almost feels like whatever it is waits until the room is empty. So what do you think about these videos? Has something...
Have I showed you guys the orb videos that we took a couple of years ago or 3 years ago? Probably didn't. I'll need to dig those out. But we have a. It's not a Ring camera, but it's a PTZ that we keep outside for like security type thing. And originally it was one of those cheap ones, and we kind of like rebuilt it and whatnot. And I actually have another one in here in this office, but it catches everything. And there was stuff that we could not explain that this thing was capturing. And if you want to say orbs, this thing was definitely capturing orbs. But it was catching stuff that seemed to be bright and glow and fly around the camera. And you would hear this rooster crow, and you would hear something banging and beating on the door. And we weren't even home. Now, the neighbors do have chickens, but this was a weird time to hear that stuff. I mean, it was. I don't know. You know, maybe in some cases orbs are ghosts or something like that. But you know, who was it? You know, the Ghost Adventures or whoever. You know, I'm one of the ones that thoroughly believe that orbs are just dust. There seems to be too much other evidence out there, and they seem to have the abilities to do things. But yeah, I will. I mean, you know, oh, by the way, I want to thank you guys for hopping on with me. This is a new addition to what I'm doing. You know, I'm gonna do videos like this. I've been wanting to do them for a while. I just want to make sure that I could, um, and it gives me a way to you know interact more with you guys. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I really missed you guys. I did. Like there was days that I would wake up and I would be like, I wish I could get home. And I mean, I could have, but I wasn't in the right mind to do so. Like I said, there's a lot that has gone on since I stopped, and you know maybe we'll talk about it. You know, some of you do know, and I know there's been some conversation within the community. But yeah, and if you're and definitely if you're part of if you're in Facebook or Facebook group or you know some of the stuff. But yeah, I will share it. And there's a bunch of other stuff that I got to share. You know, and of course, tons of stories and things like that. I mean, I've never stopped writing, and I did post stuff on like Reddit and Twitch, and I mean not Twitch, but Reddit and uh, in Facebook, a few other sites, and of course, I got notebooks full of stuff that I had created for Paranoid Times that I never got to post. But yeah, we're cooking.
Followed her from the other side, or is there another explanation? Share your thoughts with us down in the comments. Before we head on to the next video, we have an important message. If you got videos or stories to share related to the paranormal, then do send them to us on this email. The following clip comes from the TikTok account Modern Day Snow White. The account belongs to a woman who owns a remote property deep in the Appalachian Mountains, a place that's rarely visited and mostly left untouched. The land spans nearly 200 acres, and since they don't live there full time, they regularly check their security footage just to see what shows up. Most of the time, it's nothing unusual. But one day, something appeared in the footage, and only for a single frame.
So we have about 200 acres in the Appalachian Mountains. We're not there full time, so periodically I check the cameras just to see what's there. And what the fuck is that? What's that?
I'm not sure myself.
Anybody with a Ring camera understands that if your camera picks up motion, it starts recording. Otherwise, it just takes a picture every minute. And this was captured in one of the pictures. It didn't record. To get an idea, this is the whole view from that camera. This is the road. This is the driveway that you can either go up past there or you can come this way. Okay, so there's the driveway road. There's a gate right there. All along here on the other sides of the pond are these huge ditches that if you were to stand in them, they'd be over your head. Okay, so we get a layout. This tree, road, driveway. This is a deer in the same spot. And if you look over there, you can see the camera caught it, and the camera was recording that deer running from over there to over here. Okay, it was going this way. Camera caught it. You can see in the bottom corner, it says motion detected, that deer. And now here is where you see it just pops up and then it goes away.
Okay. Is that a horse? That looks like a horse. That looks like a guy. It looks like a horse. And it looks like a man on a horse. I mean, that's not unbelievable for the Appalachia, but it seems like you would have caught a whole video of him riding and whatever. I mean, I don't know. We get some weird stuff on camera up here. Yeah. I mean, I can see it, but I mean, that means somebody's coming down your property and looking around. I mean, yeah, we paranoid about that kind of thing up here. We are, for some reason. You know, you got, of course, now, I mean, I'm actually in the city, but we have lived out on out. I mean, this is kind of like city country, I guess you would say. But the area that we live in the city, we made sure that we kind of like separated ourselves from the rest of it. It's kind of like the country in the city, I guess you could say, because nobody lives on the side of me and the other side. And my only other neighbor down here owns a restaurant. So, but yeah, that is kind of weird, very kind of weird. I know it should have recorded the video. I mean, it seems like, well, I don't know, maybe it was far enough away where it, just, caught a smidgen of it or something. But I mean, it looks like that horse is in full tack. I mean, he's got, yeah, I'm not sure, but I mean,
I'm scrolling with my finger.
Ghost horse?
Not to mention the fact, if this was an actual person on a horse riding up my driveway, even if the camera didn't detect it, it would have still caught an image every so often of it walking up the driveway. There's no way it could have gotten over the gate, and there's no way that it could have gone in the creek to get onto the property. If you understood how deep this creek is, there's no way that horse could have gone down into the creek and then up and out again onto the property. It just doesn't make sense. Side note, we did discover that there is a cemetery located on our property. So many things have happened there that are just unexplainable, and yeah, I'll get into it some other time.
What looks like a figure riding a white horse can be seen. There's no footage of it arriving, no movement before it appears, and nothing after. Just that one moment, and then it's gone. What makes it even stranger is how the system works. Whenever motion is detected, it records continuously. But in this case, there was no motion alert at all. A few days later, she uploaded another video after speaking to a neighbor, and things got even more interesting.
So in my last video, I mentioned that we found out that there was a cemetery on the property. We had mentioned it to a neighbor that we have down there, and he said, oh, those are my ancestors, because I guess at one point their family pretty much owned the majority of the property down there. I had sent him a message on Facebook asking if any of his ancestors rode horses, and this was his response.
Yeah, but wouldn't he have to be buried with the horse or something? Wouldn't the horse have to be buried there in a cemetery? I mean, our little cemetery up here, I mean, it has the horse that General E. Lee came in on, and when it, died along the way.
I don't know. He even went as far as to go to the property and walk up the driveway with a flashlight to prove that there were no horse hoof prints.
Right here. Okay, right there's the camera.
Right here's where
Right here's where that horse was. And there is nothing been here. There has been nothing here. Nothing.
I already knew that there wasn't something there because I know the camera would have picked it up. Or at the very least, the camera would have taken a series of photos of whatever it was moving about the driveway. So I'm sure the internet's going to do what the internet does and say it's fake and try to debunk it. And I invite you to do so because I'm going to be living there one day. So I'd love to know that it was fake.
But you're not living there now.
According to the neighbor, he believes the figure might have been one of his ancestors. He even went to the exact spot where the figure was seen, but there were no tracks, no signs that anyone or anything had actually been there. So what do you think was captured in that single frame? Was it truly something paranormal, or could there be a more logical explanation? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. These next clips come from a man named Derek, who lives in Jacksonville, Florida, on over 300 acres of swampland. land he claims was once a native burial ground. He usually posts videos about politics, philosophy, and everyday topics, nothing related to the paranormal. But over the past few days, he started sharing clips of strange things happening on his property. At first, he thought it might just be someone trespassing. But one night, while he was out on his porch checking on his chickens, something happened that left him terrified.
Yo, I just walked off the porch and I came out here to check on the chickens. I just heard, first off, I heard my name. Second off, it sounded like somebody was saying, help me. Hold on. Hold on. Hey. Help. I need help. Harry, can you help me?
You can hear someone calling out to him from somewhere in the trees. He looks around trying to find where it's coming from, but there's no one there. Clearly unsettled, he heads back inside and locks the doors. The next morning, he decides to go back out and check the area where he heard the voice. And this is what happened next.
Okay, so we are out here exactly where everybody said this thing was standing. This is the spot right here. Exactly the spot. There's the track. I see no footprints. So this is the exact spot right here, guys. Here's the chickens in the background. So I don't know. This is in this area right here is where it was standing. Is where everybody said it was standing. I couldn't see it while standing just about over there.
You know, that road there looks like it has a lot of activity, though.
And so we keep this stuff like this locked. We keep stuff like this locked because, like I said, crackheads. Let's check to make sure it's locked.
Got a bunch of poison.
It's locked. This is the trailer that I was worried about. Did you fucking see that, bro? Look, I'm telling you, bro. What the fuck? Okay, we're just gonna peek in. Oh my, what the fuck?
He waits outside for a moment, wondering if he should grab something for protection, clearly unsure about what he might be walking into.
Absolutely.
But then he decides to go in and check inside.
And clean your camera. Please clean your camera.
They're fucking walking around in this motherfucker, bro. Hello?
There's a ketchup bottle. Is that a ketchup bottle or a pickle bottle?
So you're gonna have to climb in this motherfucker. Probably should have brought my gun. Hello?
Hey, that was that
I
dynasty.
heard that shit.
When he finally checks, there's no one there, and that makes it even more unsettling. Later on, he shared more details about the property, and this is what he said.
I live on 300 acres of swampland. Just a little background for everybody. 300 acres of swampland. We bought it for a penny an acre from the paper mill that was here back in the 1800s. The paper mill stole it from the Native Americans. Everything everything is built around out here is on top of Indian burial ground. So I'm not the only one to have had this experience. Other people have had these experiences. You could just talk to the local people here in Dinsmore.
And so, I mean, you would want to try to find that. You know, that being said, what state did he say that he was in? And a penny an acre is amazing. I mean, you know, if that passed from family to family. Jesus, can you imagine? I mean, many of us would be like, yep, absolutely. But, I mean, it looks like there's been some other stuff that's going on out there for a while. I mean, you got the trailers and things. And it looks like a lot of places that I've seen down in Louisiana. I mean, like when I was first responder for Katrina, I mean, I saw a bunch of bad stuff down there. But I always have a love for Louisiana. I do. I mean, I learned a lot, wrote a lot of stories down there. I tried to help a lot of people. I tried to help some people. Remind me to tell you about one of the cases. It was this is like right after the flood, and you see, we had to walk along to each house and check each house and see if somebody was there. And you know, we would clear it, and then we'd mark with a spray can on the door. You know, like an X would be clear, and then you know either a letter or number for someone else to come through and investigate or whatever. But there was an instance that we were walking along, and I heard a voice, you know, like low voice, just coming from the house, and there was this kid. He was chained in the basement down there, and I'm not sure the whole backstory of it, but anyway, we broke the chains. I carried him out, and I took him to the Red Cross aid station there in New Orleans, and you know, they patched him up, got him some food, and I guess they, you know, investigated or whatever. But yeah, there's some freaky stuff that happens when down in that area.
They've had the same experiences out here. In fact, it's so bad, police officers will draw straws or argue about who has to come down here when something happens. My family used to be crazy. Used a lot of drinking, drug use, and, you know, just abuse and stuff like that. So cops would be out here all the time, but they would not come on the property. They will only meet you at the end of the property. That's how fucking scary it is out here.
So what do you think is happening here? Is something truly paranormal is happening on his property? Or could there be a more logical explanation behind all of this? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. The following clip was uploaded on Reddit by the user you see on the screen. According to the uploader, the video was recorded on February 28th, 2026, during a visit to the old Idaho State Penitentiary. They were exploring the North Wing and taking photos and videos. At the time, nothing seemed unusual, but later that night, while going through the footage, one particular footage caught their attention, and this is what they noticed. At first, nothing seems out of the ordinary. You can hear their friend in the background. But then near the end of the clip, a faint whisper can be heard saying, "I'm in here." What makes it unsettling is that, according to them, most of the other visitors had already left that area by that point. So what do you think this could be? A soul trapped in that place, unable to move on? Or is there a more logical explanation? Let me know what you think down in the comments.
Oh, it's probably a ghost, for sure. Yeah, there's something there.
This next video comes from the YouTube channel you see on the screen. The channel only has a few uploads. One night, Marvin was recording a casual video to show his viewers what it's like in Santa Cruz Porello around midnight. While he was filming, something happened that clearly caught him off guard.
I like that style of house. I mean, it's kind of cute.
¿Qué onda, amigos? ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo están?
Kind of reminds me of Roanoke.
Bueno, quería compartir con ustedes cómo se ve Santa Cruz Porrillo a las 12 de la noche. Comentarles que ahorita vengo yo de una cobertura de un trabajo y quería mostrarles acá un video de cómo se ve Santa Cruz en la noche. Escucho algo ahí feo. Un caballo escucho por aquí. Ey. Un caballo. Escucha. Ah, aquí le escucho ahora. Puta, aquí asustan en Santa Cruz. Ey, asustan en Santa Cruz, abuela. Abuela, ya me voy mejor para la otra. Pues señores, que asustan en Santa Cruz, asustan en Santa Cruz. No salgan. Pues cuídate.
You start hearing a horse, and then you start hearing wolves and stuff. Yeah, it's time to go, man. It's time to go into the house, go flip on some TV,
At first, he starts hearing what sounds like hoofbeats around him. He even stops to check, but there's nothing there. The sound continues, and then suddenly, the dogs in the area become alert and start barking and howling. That's when he realized something isn't right. So what do you think happened here? And what would you do in a situation like this? Share your thoughts with us down in the comments.
You see me run so fast?
Like, share, and subscribe. If you got videos or stories to share related to the paranormal, then do send them to us on this email.
All right. You gotta like, and you gotta subscribe from me. I'll bite. All right. Let's see our other one. Where'd we go? Where'd my window go? Okay, window capture. We are going to that one.
Need to record what had been happening in her home after repeatedly telling her friends that something about her daughter's behavior didn't feel normal, only to be dismissed as overthinking or exaggerating. According to her, her daughter would mention seeing someone in the house, a man she described as her friend. At first, it sounded like the kind of imaginary companion children sometimes create, something harmless, something easy to ignore. But over time, the details became more specific. She would point to certain areas of the house, especially corners and spaces where no one was standing, and speak as if someone...
You guys having fun? I am seriously having fun doing this. You guys think we should add this every Saturday, maybe Sunday? Let me know. I don't want to put a poll out, but I mean, it seems kind of like easy, cool, and for us old people that used to watch cartoons on Saturdays and Sundays, and now we can watch ghost stories and other things. Anyway, all right, bye.
Was actually there, responding, listening, present. And that's when it stopped feeling like imagination. One night, as they were getting ready to sleep, her daughter brought up a conversation. Watch.
Yeah, but what?
We hear something.
You can hear something?
Yeah.
What?
What is that?
Can you see something?
What is that?
I don't know. What is it? Huh?
Where? Where's it gone?
What?
Where's it gone?
What's gone?
Over there.
Huh?
Over there.
Over where?
There.
What do you mean?
In the there.
What is it?
Oh no.
What is it, Billy?
What's that?
I don't know. What can you see?
Black. It's black.
He's black?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Does he talk to you?
He's coming.
He's coming?
Yeah.
Oh.
Jesus coming.
Huh?
Bird's coming.
Yeah.
A baby's coming.
A baby's coming?
Yeah.
Oh.
What stood out to many viewers wasn't just the moment itself, but the mother's reaction. When her daughter pointed something out, she didn't laugh it off or dismiss it. She listened, she responded seriously, as if she understood that whatever her child was experiencing felt real to her. So was this simply a child's imagination taking shape in a quiet moment? Or was it a glimpse of something that chose to reveal itself only to the one person who wouldn't question it? You decide.
Sorry, I had to jump up and run outside real quick. I heard a cat meowing. We got a...
In this next video, a woman named Laura had just finished baking cookies and was about to enjoy them. A completely normal moment in a calm, everyday setting, with nothing unusual happening and no reason to expect that anything strange was about to unfold. She's casually talking, relaxed, unaware that something is about to happen right in front of her. Watch.
This was completely whole. Completely whole. I'm just sitting here like la 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 la. I hear. I look over. That.
If you pay close attention, one of the cookies suddenly breaks. Not slowly, not from being touched, but abruptly, as if something applied pressure to it from nowhere.
There is something I want to point out, though. These cookies that she has, these molds and stuff that she's making, these are the same cookies they used in that the TV series that was on Netflix, the Chinese thing, where they had to carve the cookie out. I can't remember anyway, it'll come to me. I'll think.
Right in front of her eyes, at the exact moment she's questioning how it could have happened. That's what makes this moment difficult to dismiss, even for critics, because the timing feels too precise, almost reactive, like whatever caused it responded to her attention, turning a simple question into something much more unsettling. So the question remains, was this simply an odd but explainable occurrence, or a moment where something else was at play, just out of sight? You be the judge. Now, this next clip touches on something a lot of people have pointed out over the years. The idea that houses with paranormal activity often seem to experience even more intense disturbances during renovations or remodeling, almost as if the process of changing the structure somehow stirs whatever might already be there. In this case, a Ring camera installed inside a home that was undergoing remodeling captured something unsettling.
You know where they pay the people to go on the game show? We already saw this one on the other one. Let's see, we'll skip forward. Is this new stuff? All right, let me go. Yeah, we'll go here.
Analyze what happened. Many viewers weren't convinced it was that simple. Here's how she explains it. She's asleep when she suddenly hears her toddler crying out for juice, something that would normally be easy to respond to without much concern. But as she opens her eyes, she feels like she sees something in the room. Something unclear, something she can't fully process in that half-awake state, which prompts her to get up and check. Watch.
Oh shit! Oh my god, did you ever scream it?
According to her, she believes she might have imagined it, possibly because she was still waking up, not fully aware of her surroundings. But the part that stood out to many people wasn't just what she thought she saw, it was the way her child was crying. It didn't sound like a normal request, it felt like the child was responding to something, not just asking for something. And then there's the timing, because this all happens around 3 a.m., a detail that, whether coincidence or not, tends to make moments like this feel even more unsettling, especially for those who associate that hour with heightened paranormal activity.
Oh, I mean, first off, though, I mean, it's hard being a mom. It is. I mean, you're always in a state of worry, and a lot of women go through postpartum depression or post whatever you call it, and so I mean, it's hard being a mom. I mean, there's some people who do imagine things and whatnot, but it looks like there might be something more going on here. I would like to add, though, this bassinet here, this sleeping bassinet, this is one of the ones that was recalled for lead, because the paint that was used here and here and here, there was like a big recall with this specific model, and it had lead on it. And it would chip off and flake and get in here. So hopefully this was before 2020. No, it was around the same time it was recalled. Hopefully she got a better one or something. But I don't know. I mean,
some viewers began to question whether what she thought she saw and what her child was reacting to might have been connected, suggesting that children often respond more directly to things adults struggle to perceive, especially in environments where something may already be present. And that's when she decided to share something else. 3 months earlier, the Ring camera had captured something she hadn't paid much attention to at the time, but after reading through the comments and questions asking if anything unusual had ever happened before, she went back and found this. Watch.
okay, that was a bug. Another bug. Another bug. That's not a bug.
If you listen closely, a voice can be heard saying, "I always have." The moment becomes even more unsettling when you consider what she had said just before that, asking her dad if he was still there with her, a question that in itself carries emotion, memory, and meaning, which makes the response feel less random and more connected, as though something was listening and chose to answer. Now, whether these moments are related or not, whether that was her dad who responded or something else pretending to be her dad, and finally showed its true color that night her child was crying, until more is understood or additional evidence comes forward, what was captured in that home remains unresolved. The following video is about a mother and her young daughter whose behavior has slowly become more concerning over time, not because of anything loud or aggressive, but because of how consistent it is. Her daughter keeps waving at empty corners, smiling at spaces where no one is standing, and at times pointing toward different areas of the house as if someone is guiding her attention, like she's being shown things no one else can see. At first, it felt harmless, the kind of thing many parents might brush off as imagination, but as it continued, it became harder to ignore, especially because the child doesn't act confused or scared. She acts familiar, like she recognizes whoever.
Anybody seen these people before? I mean, like other than these videos and stuff. She looks extremely familiar, and this kid looks familiar as well. I mean, I don't know.
Or whatever she's interacting with. One night, as they're about to sleep, the mother decides to record, not because she's certain something is wrong, but because she needs reassurance that it's nothing beyond what it appears to be. Watch.
И мы вдвоем дома, да? И мы вдвоем дома, зайка. Только ты и я.
Oh, okay.
Я. С кем ты говоришь?
Папу.
С кем ты разговариваешь?
Папа.
Но там никого нет, только ты и я дома. Никого нету. Только ты и я. С кем ты говоришь?
Я.
Со мной?
Да.
Точно со мной? А кому ты махала? Кому ты махала, зайка? Кому ты говорила привет-привет?
Папе.
Кому?
Папа.
Это кто?
Мам.
Moments like this tend to spark a lot of discussion, and one thing often said is that as long as the child isn't afraid, it might not be something to worry about. But that idea raises a deeper question, because should calm behavior really be taken as a sign that everything is fine, or could it mean that whatever's being seen hasn't revealed its full nature yet? Because what starts as something quiet, something almost friendly, doesn't always stay that way. Now she's reaching out to other parents who may have experienced something similar, trying to understand how they handled it, how they kept their children safe, and what steps they took to make sure things didn't escalate into something more serious. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this.
Yeah, I think you need to get the kid away from whatever that is.
In this next clip, a group of paranormal investigators decide to explore an abandoned building, one that has reportedly been left untouched for years, with no electricity, no maintenance, and no clear reason for anyone to be inside. Places like this already carry a certain weight. The silence, the decay, the feeling that you're stepping into a space that hasn't fully let go of its past. According to the team, the building had a reputation among locals with stories of unexplained noises, doors shutting on their own, and the constant feeling that you're not entirely alone, even when there's no one else around. Still, they proceed with their investigation, moving carefully through the structure, documenting everything. At one point, they come across a closed door. Nothing unusual at first. But then, they decide to try something. Watch.
That door just moved on its own. No joke, that door just moved on its own. Holy shit. Guys, tell me that y'all saw that. Watch. Nowhere near this thing. Watch this thing. There's a spirit here. Open that door. Use all your energy. No way. Holy shit. Oh my gosh. That is nuts.
I mean, it could be like draft and wind and stuff.
Yeah, this door over here is opening. It's opening and closing it by itself. No joke. Holy shit. There's no way in hell that I'm getting this on camera right now. Like usually, like you gotta really call to get attention. I mean, you really got. Holy shit, guys! I'm baffled right now. That window is completely closed, by the way. These blinds are not moving or anything. That door is completely closed. See, it's even screwed shut. How is this even happening?
It isn't me. I can get through.
I don't even understand this.
Come on, my dude. I live in an old house, too.
There's a spirit here with me. Close that door. Use all. Oh my gosh, guys. Whoa. I am baffled right now. Like, oh my gosh. And there's like this carpet piece on the bottom of the door.
Now, a door opening or closing on its own can sometimes be explained. Airflow, pressure changes, structural imbalance, especially in an old, abandoned building. But that explanation starts to fall apart when the timing doesn't feel random, when the movement happens in direct response to a question. Because that's exactly what makes this moment stand out. It's not just that the door moves, it's that it moves when prompted. No windows are open, no visible force is acting on it, and yet it reacts. Now, if it isn't a coincidence, then what exactly is behind that door? Now, in this next video, a man is in the middle of remodeling a house that dates all the way back to the early 1900s, the kind of place where every wall, every staircase, and every hidden corner carries layers of history, shaped by the lives that have passed through it over generations. He's working inside the house alone, in this next video, focused on the renovation, when something happens that he doesn't immediately notice, something that only becomes clear after reviewing the footage. Watch this.
This cabinet found, and I think there's a squatter in this house. I think it's in here. Hello? 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 Anybody here? Hello?
It's a nice house.
Hello? Hello? Who is it?
Okay, what's going on here?
At first, many viewers leaned toward the simplest explanation, assuming the phone had been dropped and that he might have been the one moving it without realizing. But that theory quickly starts to break down the moment you pay attention to the audio. You can hear him coming down the stairs, breathing heavily, seconds after the phone has already begun to move. And that detail changes everything. Because if he's clearly somewhere else at that moment, then the movement of the phone becomes much harder to explain, especially since it doesn't just shift slightly. It rotates in a way that suggests contact, like something physically interacted with it. Homes. This old often carry long and complex histories, filled with moments of joy, loss, illness, and sometimes tragedy. And for those who believe in it, places like this can hold on to more than just memories. Renovations, in particular, are often said to stir things up, changing the structure, exposing hidden areas, and in some cases, triggering activity that had remained quiet for years. But until more is revealed about the house, its past, and what might be tied to it, this moment remains unexplained. The following video was recorded around 3 a.m. by a guy who struggles to sleep at night, so he usually keeps himself busy until the exhaustion finally kicks in. On this particular night, he was watching TV like he always does, but when he stood up to head to bed, he suddenly felt something. Watch this.
What's up? What the? Did you hear that jingle then?
Oh, okay, we covered this.
Yeah, that jingle, that definitely.
Grab the phone. I'm not doing this no more. Grab the phone. I'm trying. Don't leave me. What do you do? I'm about to fall on my face. No, I'm not. No! No, do not. Your door. Is this still recording? Yes. Oh my God, it's me.
Now, here's where things get strange. The exact moment they screamed, the car's light suddenly went off. But could there be a normal explanation? Some people think so. They argue that loud vibrations inside a car can loosen wiring or cause an already faulty light to flicker. Maybe the timing was just a strange coincidence, but others aren't buying it. They point out that the light didn't dim. It cut out instantly, like something interfered with the energy around them. Some are convinced they might have stirred up something they couldn't see, something that reacted the moment their voices spiked. So did their screaming disrupt the car light, or did they unknowingly catch a paranormal moment on camera? You decide.
I don't think so. Well, I mean, it could have been. I don't know. We seem to be normalizing the supernatural.
Now in this next video, a woman named Jennifer Ricks stumbled upon an old clip her daughter recorded about a year ago. Before finding this video, Jennifer had already been dealing with strange things around the house. Moments where she'd be sitting completely still, home alone, and a dark shadow would walk past the hallway like it had somewhere to be. Her dog, normally calm, also barks at odd hours of the night, sometimes staring into corners as if watching something move. But she never connected any of it. Not until she saw this clip.
Alright, more of the doors. They're opening on their own. Well, that one unlocked. Something physically unlocked that door now. We heard that. I mean, well, you know, turn the handle on me. You can buy that hand soap at Walmart. I think it smells like mint.
According to her daughter, the moment she was filming, it felt like someone was trying to take a peek at her from behind the door. That quiet, unsettling sensation of being watched, the same feeling Jennifer herself had dismissed for months. And when you put this clip side by side with all the strange things that have been happening in the house, it's hard not to understand why Jennifer now believes something is truly off. But the real fear isn't what they've already seen, it's what might come next. If this presence has been around for over a year without them realizing it, what else has it been doing that they haven't noticed yet? Until more updates come in, this one remains completely unsolved. The following footage was taken by a man's home camera, and what he later saw still stuns him to this day. Have a look.
You want to see something weird? I have the blink camera and the poltergeist static. Now I know that nobody is home. I check back on the footage and I see a light turn off downstairs. But there's nobody home. Nobody home. Nobody home. Very weird, but a very, very good capture.
Those are rooms.
Check this out. I mean, people could be like, oh, well, there was somebody down there. And I wouldn't post something like that, right? This is crazy.
The craziest part of this footage is that you can clearly hear the sound of the light switch being flipped. That sharp, unmistakable click that only happens when someone physically touches it. Your first thought might be an intruder, right? Someone wandering through the house without his knowledge. But that theory falls apart quickly when you know the other things he's shared. Objects in his house have moved suddenly without explanation. A few times, items have even fallen on him, as if pushed, and more than once, he's caught faint laughter echoing from this exact same room. Soft, almost playful, but definitely not human. Viewers who analyzed his older clips pointed out something else. Strange-looking dolls and toys scattered around the room, some with faces that look unsettlingly worn or distorted. He's never addressed their origin, but people can't help but wonder if one of them is tied to whatever's going on. So when you take everything together, The laughter, the objects moving, the eerie toys, and now a light switch flipping on its own, the idea of an intruder becomes the least likely explanation. It feels more like something has made this room its space, something that doesn't mind being heard, and now doesn't mind being seen. But in the end, I'll leave it to you. What do you think he's dealing with? Having a home camera is like having an extra pair of eyes watching the moments you never even knew were happening. And that's exactly what happened in this next clip you're about to see. Watch.
What in the world? Somebody likes energy drinks.
The camera suddenly detected movement, followed by loud banging and knocking that seemed to come out of nowhere. The owner of the house said it felt like something was there, something she couldn't see but definitely could hear. That's why she decided to share the footage online, hoping other people might catch something she's been missing. So take another look. What else do you see in this clip? In this next clip, a man and his son went to check on a storage unit where he keeps all his fancy collectibles and strange antiques. But lately he's been convinced something malevolent is inside that unit. Objects shift on their own, and even the employees have reached out to complain about loud crashes and bangs coming from his space. They even invited him over so they could show him the clips themselves, and confirm whether he was anywhere near the facility when those sounds were recorded. But he wasn't. And that only made his suspicions feel a whole lot more real. But the staff didn't believe him at first, so he decided to prove it. He set up cameras inside the unit. Watch.
But just watch the video for yourself.
No, it's gotta be like a little dude. I mean, that. No. Charlie, do that. You're gone. Sorry. Yeah. Nope. Absolutely not. No. That's freaky. That's a whole broken box and stuff. Freaky.
After he posted this clip, viewers swarmed the comments warning him to never take the cursed monkey doll home. This doll, which cost him nearly $2,000, has a history he didn't know about until it was too late. From the moment he brought it into the unit, the activity escalated. Wherever this doll sits, things fall, objects slide, and even heard from people that once owned something like it, that it might be tied to old ceremonial practices, or that the doll was once used as a vessel in rituals meant to house wandering spirits. Whether any of that is true, well, that's up for debate, but one thing is certain, he's never carrying that doll home. Now, in this next video, the popular Midwest ghost hunter Ian continues his exploration inside one of Nebraska's most notoriously haunted places, the Argo Hotel. If you've been following his investigations, you already know this place has a reputation for strange activity, and Ian has captured plenty of it on camera. But on this night, after wrapping up his walkthrough, he realized there was one room he hadn't checked. Watch.
Those are some freaky dolls.
Not that freaky.
Did you just make that noise? It definitely came from over here. Little girl, if that was you, would you be able to... Oh, God! Alright, that's it. That's it. That doll just turned and looked at me, and I am done.
I bet they need to change somewhere. I swear he does.
Get me out of here. Get me out of here.
Yeah. No, that's a no. That's a no. That's definitely a no. Yeah.
Alright, guys. I know I ran, but damn, that was freaky. I don't know. I just couldn't handle it down there anymore. There's just a whole nother feeling, especially when you're all by yourself. Oh man, that was so freaking crazy. I can't believe that doll just turned and looked at me like that. It looked like it was possessed. Like it literally, like I was worried I was gonna get possessed or something. Like, oh my gosh, dude, that was so freaking scary.
I mean, I don't know. He seems a little happy.
Holy moly. But anyways, I'm gonna leave cameras down there for the rest of the night. I think I'm gonna call it a night. I'm about at my limit for now. But this is a fantastic location. I absolutely love this place. This was such a fun investigation. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I don't know what else to say. Yeah, be sure to like it. Again, comment your thoughts down below, and also subscribe if you haven't already. But I'll see you guys on the next one.
The doll suddenly turns, slowly, directly toward him, almost like it's aware of him, like it's responding. And in that moment, Ian is done. Completely done with this place. He leaves immediately. No hesitation, no second guesses. But the question is, how did it move? The most well-known spirit in the Argo Hotel is a woman named Alice, believed to haunt the basement. According to local stories, she passed away in childbirth in the 1940s, and people say she still wanders the halls searching for her lost baby. Some think she attaches herself to children's toys. Others believe dolls act as vessels that make it easier for her to communicate. Whatever the case may be, the Argo Hotel continues to leave investigators with more questions than answers, and to this day, the mystery remains. The following video was captured inside a hospital by Dave, a man who claims he's been gifted with sight since he was young. According to him, he doesn't just sense things, he sees and hears them. And he says spirits tend to follow him, especially in places where emotions are intense, like hospitals, cemeteries, abandoned buildings, places where life and death have crossed paths. While Dav was receiving treatment, he suddenly felt like he wasn't alone in the room. Watch.
There's like something in this room that is like moving, like the chairs. Move this shit right here. Oh, my bad. That should hurt. But anyways, if there's a spirit in here, just let me know, you know. And sometimes things, this is Kaiser. Oh, good. I felt like a really, really heavy presence in this room right when I walked in, but I just thought I see something sitting right there. I was sorry. My phone. That's not good. There's a lot of things happening here. Again, that door slowly opened and closed right now. If there's anything in here, just give me a sign. I'm here in peace. Okay, you can say anything. Just don't mess with my heart monitor or anything. That started to move, but it could be people up there. I just can't do that. Something right here, Joe. TV or something. Move anything you want. Let the people know Jack, speak into this thing. show me you're here. Presents. You could, I got a gift, and I'm not afraid. So if you decide to move anything, open that door again, I won't be frightened. What the hell? Oh. Whoa, shh. Excuse me, nurse. Oh, that's some activity. Excuse me. This thing fell. Right here. Yeah, I don't know. I maybe it just fell.
Oh, weird.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was just sleeping. And,
Well, that scared you, huh?
yeah, it scared the shit.
I was worried. I thought you fell.
Oh, no.
It wasn't you. All right.
Okay, people, that was a scary situation. I know I didn't jerk, but yeah, it's ghost activity. Oh my God. Oh, crap. Well,
That dude is definitely.
got the gift. But I'm not gonna abuse it. I just asked for, little signs here and there. They showed them to me. Nothing to be alarmed about, people. Didn't feel it was evil at all. But, whoa. I know you guys heard that over there. Woo! Anyways, God bless you guys. I'm not gonna entertain them anymore because I don't need my heart to go racing. God bless you guys. But anyways, I was gonna cut this video short, but right when I was gonna cut it short, something else happened. But I'm waiting for it to happen again. So this right here, mind you, this is the only sliding door that's open. But this right here pulled all the way back this way. So what happened last time was I was asking it for a sign, and it pushed over this metal thing right here. I had to tell the nurse I was sleeping because I didn't want her to think I did the shit, or I just told her I don't know. I didn't know what to, make up. But this shit is, it's crazy, And all I asked is for a sign, and they give them to me.
They say when you're in the hospital and you start seeing stuff, don't have one leg.
The thing is, I'm used to it. When there are signs, But in hospital, there's a lot of activity, and I already know I'm gonna find something, that would give me a sign or whatever. Oh, just like that. That was up there under my sweater or some shit. Okay. I know you're not welcome here, so you can go back to wherever you come from. Cause I'm not taking that. And this arm right here you can't do nothing with it. It hurts. So I gotta lay on my side right here. Okay, people. God bless you. Blessings. And man, pray for me.
If you listen closely, after he says, "I'm here for peace," a faint whisper can be heard saying, "Help," and then what sounds like "knife." That detail is what unsettled viewers the most. Some speculate it could be the spirit of someone who passed away in that very room, possibly someone connected to surgery or a traumatic procedure. Hospitals are places of healing, but they're also places of loss, fear, and unfinished stories. In paranormal theory, strong emotional events can leave behind residual energy, like a recording that replays under the right conditions. Others believe this could be an intelligent haunting, meaning whatever is there is aware and responding directly to Dave. especially since the whisper appears right after he speaks. During his stay, Dave also mentioned feeling a heavy presence near the chair in the room. He said the energy felt concentrated there, like someone was sitting and watching him, but when he looked, no one was there. Of course, skeptics argue hospitals are full of ambient noise, machines humming, distant voices, equipment moving, and audio pareidolia can make random sounds seem like words. According to them, when you expect to hear something, your brain can fill in the blanks. So was it simply hospital acoustics playing tricks on the ears? Or did someone or something in that room hear him when he said he came in peace and answered back? You decide. In this next video, Andrea is walking her dog late at night when something in the distance makes her stop. At first, she thinks it's just her eyes adjusting to the dark, but then she notices shapes that don't look quite right. So she pulls out her phone and starts recording. Have a look.
Oh man, no. There's people over there. Three shadows. See them? That's crazy. That's a no.
In the distance, 3 shadow figures appear to be standing completely still. Some believe they could simply be people standing under poor lighting, their features swallowed by the darkness. At night, depth perception becomes unreliable. Streetlights can distort proportions, and shadows can merge together, making ordinary figures look unnaturally tall or solid black. But others argue something feels off. In paranormal discussions, shadow figures are often described exactly this way: human-shaped, lacking detail, and usually seen in peripheral vision. They're said to be watchers, observers, and in some reports, they appear in groups of 2 or 3. The fact that there are 3 of them standing together raises even more concern for believers. Some theories suggest that multiple figures appearing at once could indicate something more intelligent or coordinated, not residual energy, but active presence. As for danger, most accounts claim shadow entities don't always attack, but they can induce fear, paralysis, or a feeling of being targeted. And fear is something certain entities feed off. Whatever they were, one thing is clear: they weren't moving, and they.
But it always brings up a question like, why this person? Why are these things watching this one person? Does it have to do with her? Or does it have to do with somebody else and she just caught it? But yeah, I mean, these are, 3, they look like they're wearing, really, it looks like they're wearing like a Superman cloak or something. See how the things are on their bodies? That's weird. That's really weird. Better. Like the Twilight Zone, where the aliens had those like cloaks and stuff on around heads, and that's kind of like literally the way they would stand in the movie, in the show. I don't know. This is weird.
were aware enough to stand there while being filmed. Until clearer footage surfaces, what Andre saw that night remains a mystery. Now in this next video, a team of paranormal investigators visit an abandoned house that locals have refused to go near for years. The place has been empty for decades, and as many paranormal researchers will tell you, abandoned buildings have a way of holding onto energy. When houses are left to decay, especially ones tied to unknown histories, tragedies, or sudden departures, believers say the energy inside can become stagnant, trapped. So the team sets up their equipment, EMF readers, cameras, and most importantly, trip wires. For those unfamiliar, trip wires are extremely sensitive devices designed to trigger if something physically passes through them. Not wind, not distant vibration, but something crossing the line. As they begin asking questions, trying to provoke a response, this happens.
And see what's popping. Nope, that's not a new tripwire. That's the same tripwire that we use at the breakfast state, that I've used in other places. Okay. That door just opened up by itself. I didn't even get that far. Dude. It's
Door just opened up by itself. Here we go. Away. Crazy, right? That was me. I bumped into the table here. If you heard something rattle, that was me. But that door opening up.
The trip wires suddenly went nuts, and then, almost on cue, the door slowly opens by itself. Skeptics argue structural shifts could trigger the wires, but paranormal experts would say something else entirely. They believe abandoned spaces can act like containers, especially if something tragic happened there. If investigators actively try to communicate, they're essentially knocking on whatever door exists between worlds. And sometimes, something knocks back. Abandoned buildings already carry risk, unstable floors, toxic air, human squatters. But if something unseen is also moving through the halls, that's a different kind of danger. So was this structural coincidence, or did something in that house finally respond to being called out? You decide. The following video was recorded by a woman named Simone during what was supposed to be a normal evening walk. Watch closely. If you pause at the right moment, you'll notice a dark figure leaning against a tree before it suddenly darts away. At first, Simone brushed it off. Maybe it was a trick of the light, maybe someone was hiding. But what unsettled her wasn't just what she saw, it was what she felt after leaving the area. Even when she had completely walked past the tree line, she couldn't shake the sensation that someone was still behind her, matching her pace. On her way home, she passed a strange building she'd never paid attention to before. This time, she went in. As she steps inside the dark room, look toward the right side of the door near the end of the clip. Something shifts behind it. Simone later said that's when the idea first crossed her mind. What if whatever she saw near the tree wasn't random? What if it was watching her? A few evenings later, she passed the same building again, and this time she heard a voice that sounded exactly like her sister calling her name.
I don't know why the lights are on, but I'm going inside of this house. I just heard my sister's voice, and I'm sick of this. And I need to figure out what's going on so I can put a stop to it. Why is this chair in the middle of the floor?
Mimicking entities are considered particularly dangerous. They don't just appear, they imitate familiar voices to lure people closer. When Simone stepped inside, she noticed a chair positioned strangely in the middle of the room. Before she could even finish talking, she saw the figure again. After that encounter, she convinced herself the entity was attached to the abandoned house, not her. But that assumption didn't last long, because soon after, her own home stopped being quiet. Banging at night, footsteps when she's alone, whispers she can't trace, and an overwhelming sense of fear that comes without warning. One day, a friend visited after hearing everything, and this happened.
Hey guys, it's Simone again.
You kidding me?
Yeah. So I'm here with my friend Lexi, and I thought that this was over, but it's still happening. Something from this entity is still trying to get to me, so...
I thought you were kidding.
No.
Like, this is horrible.
I'm not kidding.
I don't know how you've been living like this. This is literally, like, I've checked this door 5 times. There's no way anyone is in the backyard.
So, still going on, and I just wanted to come back and report to you guys that it's still impacting my life every day.
I'm so sorry. This is insane.
Here's the unsettling theory. If the activity followed Simone home, then this may not be about a haunted location anymore. It could be attachment, a phenomenon where an entity fixates on a person rather than a place. And attachments, according to paranormal researchers, rarely fade on their own. It's hard to walk away from something like this without answers, but Simone isn't ready to stop investigating until she understands what's happening. Now, this strange video was posted on December 27th, 2025 by a veterinary hospital in Madison, Alabama. But what makes it even more unsettling is that the footage itself had reportedly been kept private for nearly 4 years. According to the clinic's owner, Renee, something happened that night that caused all employees on shift to stop what they were doing. Have a look.
Did you out? That's weird. Where is that coming from? It don't sound like it's coming from. Okay, so you still want to do banana bags, 15 mils an hour, head of starch, 4 mils an hour. It's coming from over this way. Alright. Medication, metronidazole, 15 mil BID, IV. Wait, is it Scarlet? Clipped off. Wait. I clipped it off before getting meds. Is somebody trying to talk up there? What's coming from up there? They may have done that when they switched the bag. Is it the new bag for you? No. Alright,
That's another animal, right? That's what they're listening to. And I heard voices, but I don't know if their voices there. I don't think you're supposed to leave the cat, the dog, or whatever that is. I think the cat, big old cat.
What, phantom dogs?
Oh, look at that poor puppy in there.
That's weird. Is it Charles? You heard that, right? We all heard that. I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear anything. What did you hear? A dog keeps yapping. Is it Dakota? No. Look, it's coming from over here. Look at the front porch. If actually I didn't dump one or throw one in the pen outside or something. I didn't hear anything. You're not hearing that. 3 of us heard it. I didn't hear it, no. You heard it, right? I heard it. I didn't hear it. You can't hear it coming from this side. You can't hear it at ISO though, right? No. Look at that fence out there. Make sure somebody throw one in the fence. I heard nothing. I was like, what are y'all talking about? Yeah, that's a brand new bag. That's something to say. Yeah. That's I haven't heard it. I still haven't heard it. All 3 of us heard it. And it was coming from that. It's like it was in that room or something. Like it's like it was like right on your board. We're gonna play that back. I didn't even hear anything. Can you play it like the specific or anything?
After reviewing the footage, Renee says there was no logical explanation for what they witnessed. And this wasn't an isolated event. Over time, strange activity became almost routine inside the clinic. Dog kennels securely latched would open on their own in the middle of the night. Office supplies and lightweight equipment were found scattered across rooms that had been locked. Staff members reported hearing scratching sounds coming from empty runs long after the last patient had gone home. Sometimes motion sensors would trigger in rooms where no animal was being treated. For a veterinary hospital, that detail hits differently, because this isn't just any building, it's a place filled with heightened emotion, fear, grief, relief, heartbreak. It's where some families say goodbye to beloved pets, and many pet owners will tell you that after their animal passes, they still hear the faint scratch at the door, still feel the weight at the foot of the bed, still think they see a quick shadow dart past in the hallway. Some believe animals, especially loyal ones, linger, and that's the theory whispered among staff, that perhaps some of the dogs who passed away in that clinic never fully left, that the scratching isn't imagination, and that the kennel's opening isn't mechanical failure. So what do you think? Is it residual energy, emotional imprints replaying themselves, or something else using the setting to its advantage? Renee says she doesn't know what's in her clinic, but she's no longer convinced it's empty after closing time. In the following clip, a family's home security camera captures something they never expected involving their young son, who is autistic and extremely sensitive to changes in his environment. His parents explain that he's very routine-oriented and easily distressed by anything being out of place, especially at night. One night, while the entire household was asleep, they suddenly heard their son screaming in terror. Watch. Imagine waking up around 1 a.m. to your autistic son crying, insisting that the elf on the shelf had moved on its own. For those unfamiliar, Elf on the Shelf is a popular holiday tradition where parents move a small elf figurine around the house each night to make it appear as though it's watching children's behavior for Santa. The rule is simple: the elf only moves when no one is watching. But in this case, no one was touching it when it moved.
Who come up with that? I mean, like, that, honestly, if you think about it, that is a horrible person. A person who popularized and come up with the elf on the shelf idea to scare kids into being good. I mean, that's one of the things I hate about Christmas. I mean, I like Christmas itself, but I hate the concepts they implement. And you're like, you it's like all of a sudden you have to lie to your children about Santa Claus, and you have to lie, and now you're supposed to lie to them about an elf on the shelf. I mean, and they're terrified of this little critter. So I mean, it just seems wrong. It seems wrong. I mean, I don't like lying to our future. I don't.
What makes this more unsettling is that the child was genuinely terrified, not confused or playful. Some viewers believe the stress of the tradition itself can cause children, especially those with sensory sensitivities, to panic when something appears different. Others point out that Elf on the Shelf has long been tied to darker folklore, small watching figures, silent observers, and objects believed to invite unwanted attention into a home. A few even argue that objects meant to watch children, even symbolically, can create fear-based expectations that manifest in disturbing ways. Whether this was a misunderstanding, a moment of heightened fear, or something far more unsettling, one thing is certain: the family hasn't been able to look at that elf the same way since. But what do you think happened here?
I think little dude's legitimately scared.
Now, this next clip is an update from a previous video about a family who went to check out an apartment they were considering renting. At first, everything seemed normal, until just minutes after stepping inside, an unidentified voice was suddenly heard whispering the word Jadis. At the time, many viewers believed it could have been interference, audio distortion, or even someone outside the apartment. But something about the voice didn't sit right. After that video gained attention, the woman went back through the footage she recorded inside the apartment, and that's when she noticed something else she completely missed before. Watch closely.
Oh my god.
Just like the previous video, another voice can be heard. This time, some people swear they hear it saying, "Don't buy," almost like a warning. Others hear what sounds like a young boy softly saying, "Hello, Mum," while a different group of viewers are convinced the voice is saying, "Grandpa." What makes this unsettling is how common whispers are in reports tied to supposedly empty homes. Paranormal researchers often say whispered voices are one of the earliest signs of a presence, especially in places with emotional residue, homes where someone may have lived, passed away, or never fully moved on. Unlike loud noises, whispers are believed to be intentional, subtle, and directed, meant to be heard by specific people rather than caught accidentally. The first clip left many viewers deeply concerned, questioning whether the family went through with renting the apartment, but later she confirmed that they didn't. And judging by what was captured on camera, many believe that decision may have spared them from something far more unsettling, whether the voices were warning them away or trying to make contact. This apartment clearly isn't as empty as it appears. In this next video, a woman who's been experiencing strange activity in her home finally manages to capture something on camera. For a while now, she's claimed to see dark figures appearing briefly in different parts of the house, always just out of full view, always gone the moment she looks directly at them. One evening, while she was home alone, she stepped out of her bathroom and noticed something unusual. Watch closely.
I hear a woman humming. What the hell? Where is that coming from? Look, Xavier hears it too. Hold on. You heard it too, huh?
As she walks out of the bathroom, she catches sight of something black moving. At first, she assumes it's just a shadow or her eyes adjusting to the lighting, but when she turns her head, the shape is still there, a dark, human-like figure peeping before vanishing moments later. Many viewers believe this could be what's commonly referred to as a shadow figure, entities often described as pitch-black silhouettes that appear briefly and disappear without a trace. Others think it could be tied to stress, fatigue, or the brain misinterpreting familiar spaces, especially when someone is alone and alert. But some point out that seeing a figure clearly enough to turn and face it suggests something more than imagination. Whether this was a shadow entity, residual energy, or something her mind can't explain yet, one thing is certain: whatever she saw felt real enough to leave her shaken. But Stego, you think she's dealing with?
I don't know. Cat looked weird.
Now, in this next clip, a family is dealing with the terrifying consequences of opening their door to something knocking in the middle of the night. At first, they thought it was just a mistake. Maybe a neighbor, maybe kids playing a prank. But ever since that moment, their nights have been anything but normal. Sleep has become nearly impossible. Objects shift around the house on their own, voices are heard when no one else is awake, and the knocking never truly stops. It only moves, echoing from different parts of the home. Watch this.
Voy a ir a ver, güey.
Sí, sí, güey.
Ya estoy grabando, ¿eh?
Sí, ya. Con cuidado el palo, el tubo, ¿cómo está?
No mames, pero está tocando bien de güey. Aquí está, aquí está, aquí. A la máquina, güey. Márcala a la policía, güey. Sí. A la madre.
That sounds like my work sometimes. It does.
Yeah. Hey, hey.
Ábreme, hijo de tu puta madre.
Nope. There's a note there.
¿Qué quieres?
What do you want? Yeah, go away.
Madre.
¿Quién eres?
I'm the one you're looking for. What?
Me querías ver.
Aquí estoy. Ábreme. La sangre de Cristo tiene poder. Ábreme, hijo de tu pinche madre.
The dude goes right to the Bible, man. And he's like,
¿Qué
this man's Catholic right here.
Cabrón. Ábreme, hijo de tu pinche madre. ¿Por qué estás molestando aquí? Aquí no hay nada. Y ahí le llamé a la patrulla, ¿eh? Ábreme, hijo de tu pinche madre. ¿Querías verme? Pues aquí estoy. Pues entra a ver. Ya estoy adentro de tu casa. Ábreme, hijo de tu pinche madre.
No.
Lárgate a chingar a tu madre de aquí. Ya le hablé a la patrulla, ¿eh? Ábreme, hijo de tu pinche madre. Ya estoy ahí adentro de tu casa. Ya viene la patrulla, nada más te aviso, ¿eh? Lárgate de aquí. Lárgate.
Yeah. Dude, I don't want to go back upstairs. I'd make sure he's not going to bust through the door and like.
Ya le abriste a la patrulla.
What makes this moment especially unsettling is that whatever is inside the house doesn't just knock anymore. This time, it responds. Paranormal researchers often warn that responding to unknown knocking or voices at night is one of the worst things you can do. Many believe it's an invitation, an acknowledgement that gives whatever is outside permission to cross a boundary.
But like,
In this case, it seems whatever entered that night may be growing stronger, or worse, drawing in other presences. Some believe one spirit can act like a doorway, inviting others to follow. And judging by how the activity has escalated, this family may no longer be dealing with just one thing. But until we receive more updates from the family, this remains unsolved. The following clip was recorded by a team of paranormal investigators who entered a house already known for intense activity. From the moment they stepped inside, they said the atmosphere felt heavy, almost oppressive, like they were being watched. In a previous video we shared about this same location, their first instinct was to pray, something many believe can provoke or expose darker entities rather than calm them, and in that case, the prayers seemed to force whatever was in the house to make itself known. This time, their attention was drawn to a creepy doll sitting quietly inside the home. Instead of avoiding it, they decided to use it as part of an experiment. Watch closely.
Oricare spirit te află aici, oricare entitate, oricare demon, oricare suflet neliniștit, oricare strigoi, prin puterea primordială prin care am fost investit, îți ordon să miști pina aia. Marș de aici! Bă, ca mea! Râmea aia, băi, frate! Marș de aici, că nu cred așa ceva. Holy Jesus Christ! Stit, îți ordon să miști pina aia. Bă, marș de aici! Bă, ca mea! Vă arăt pina asta? Că nu-i legată cu nimic? Hă?
Yeah, they're Catholic too.
Of, Doamne. Vă arăt pina asta?
Man, ain't that like sacrilege and stuff? Like you got a medallion on there. And what is that? That looks weird.
Uite, Dumnezeu, uite. Vă arăt pina asta care nu-i legată cu nimic? Uite picioarele mele. Dacă răbușa nu e abonată de asta.
Dar oricum poate să filmezi, stai seama.
Vă arăt, mă, puterea asta primordială?
There was nothing attached to the doll. No strings, no tricks, no hidden mechanism. The doll moved on its own. Some viewers argue the movement could be explained by balance or vibrations, but one of the investigators wasn't convinced that this alone was enough proof. So they decided to test something else nearby, choosing a completely different object to rule out coincidence. Take a look.
Oricare spirit te afla, oricare entitate, oricare demon, oricare strigoi, prin puterea primordială prin care am fost investit de către patriarh, îți ordon să miști.
Mișcă
Mișcă poza aia sau dă-o jos, fă ceva. Marș de aici! Aoleu! Uitați pozele, uitați poșetele, uitați poza că nu e legată cu nimic. Da? Uitați. Uitați pozele, uitați.
I hope nobody lives
Da?
there. I mean, like, there's moles all over the back of that
Da,
picture.
Doamne.
After this second attempt, it became much harder to dismiss what was happening. Two separate objects responding under similar conditions suggested this wasn't just about the doll itself. Still, wanting absolute confirmation, they pushed further and attempted one final test. This time, they focused on something much larger.
Prin puterea prin care am fost investit, să rup perdeaua aia. Trage-o cât are. Băi, Alin, băi.
The curtains suddenly moved with force. Many believe this escalation is significant, and some say it shows the presence growing more aggressive the more it's challenged, while others warn that repeated provocation can turn a passive entity into a dangerous one. According to paranormal belief, spirits that respond with increasing force aren't simply playful, they're territorial, reactive, and possibly hostile. Whether this was a buildup of energy, a violent entity asserting control, or something darker reacting to being tested, one thing is clear. Whatever was inside that house didn't like being questioned. Now, in this next clip, the popular Midwest ghost hunter Ian investigates the Mabel Tainter Memorial
Okay,
Theater.
watch this one already. Let's see. Where are we at here?
Or control. It started gradually, with objects moving on their own, small enough at first to question, but frequent enough to become impossible to ignore. Then it escalated into something far more personal, moments where she felt something touch her when no one was there, followed by fleeting figures appearing in the corners of her room, never fully visible, but always there long enough to be noticed, and then gone. Eventually, it became too much, so she left. Rosanna moved into an Airbnb, putting as much distance as she could between herself and whatever she believed was in that apartment, hoping that a new environment would finally bring her some peace. And for about a month, it did. Until one night, around 3 a.m., she suddenly wakes up to something that immediately breaks that sense of calm. The sound of singing coming from inside her bathroom. Listen closely. As she approaches and opens the bathroom door, the camera captures something chilling, a black shadow standing inside the shower, and as she put on the light, it disappeared as if it was never there to begin with. But that's not the only detail that makes this harder to explain. The shower door was already open, and the handle was on the floor, suggesting that someone or something was there. At that point, any hope that she had left it all behind is gone. Rosanna is now convinced that whatever was in her old apartment didn't stay there. It followed her, and that idea has led to a wave of theories. Some believe this could be a case of an attachment, where a presence connects itself not to a location, but to a person, meaning distance doesn't matter, moving doesn't help, and no matter where she goes, it goes too. Others think it may have been unintentionally invited, that during those earlier experiences through fear, attention, or even acknowledgement, she may have given whatever it is a reason to remain connected to her. Now, Rosanna is left with questions she can't answer on her own. What is she going to do? In this next video, a man who has been dealing with relentless disturbances in his home finally reaches a breaking point. After nights filled with interrupted sleep, unexplained noises, and the constant feeling that he is not alone, even when every room appears empty. At first, like many people would, he tried to ignore it, hoping it would pass, but as the activity became more frequent and more aggressive, he began searching for answers, speaking to others, researching, and eventually being told something that would change how he approached the situation entirely. According to what he later shared, he came to believe that the presence in his home was the restless soul of an extremely old man, someone who had once lived there and, for reasons unknown, never truly left. A presence he claimed was around 192 years old, bound to the space in a way that rituals alone couldn't seem to break. So, one night, after being woken up yet again by the familiar sound of things scattering around the house, he decided to take a different approach. Confrontation. Watch.
Y 25 de la mañana, gente, allá está el reloj y le voy a mostrar cómo un alma que no puede irse a descansar en paz molesta. ¿Ven la sombra? Miren la sombra ahí. Miren la sombra ahí cómo está sentada. A las almas les gusta la tranquilidad, ¿no es cierto? O sea, ellas pueden espantar, pero nosotros no a ellas. Entonces nosotros tenemos que filmarle lo más tranquilo que podamos. ¡Dale! ¡Arriba la mano! ¿Qué está haciendo? Miren, 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 se prendió la luz. Se prendió la luz. No esté espiando. No esté espiando. No esté espiando. Miren, 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 miren. Miren. Miren, salí. A ver cuánto es lo que vale. Un mano a mano contra vos no aguanta nadie, un mano a mano contra mí, digo. Dejá de hacerte la ridícula. Tenés como 192 años y seguís asustando a la gente. ¿Por qué no te vas a sentarte en la vereda afuera? Agarrá un peine por lo menos. ¿No te das cuenta que en la sombra se te vio y tenía todos los pelos parados? ¡Ridícula!
It's around 3 a.m. and before he even enters the room, he notices something that immediately puts viewers on edge. A shadow. When he stepped in and tried to turn on the light, it didn't come on. Instead, there was a strange light already present in the room, and then things started flying about before the light finally came on. But at that time, whatever was in the room had gone. Now, what has really sparked conversation around this clip isn't just the activity itself, but the decision he took. Some people believe that standing your ground in situations like this shows strength, that it can disrupt whatever is trying to create fear, possibly even weaken its hold. Others strongly disagree, arguing that confronting something you don't fully understand could actually make things worse, especially if what you're dealing with is aware, reactive, and capable of escalating its behavior. Now, this leaves a question that doesn't have a simple answer. When you're dealing with something you can't see, something you can't fully understand, is it a good idea to confront it? You decide. Now, this next clip is about a man named Nate, someone whose situation has been getting progressively more intense ever since he unknowingly brought something home from the cemetery where he works. Something that, at first, didn't seem like much, but over the past few weeks has turned his house into a place he no longer feels.
First off, don't bring anything back from a cemetery. That includes flowers, rocks, pennies, dimes, anything you see there. Do not ever bring anything back from a cemetery. I know it's tempting sometimes, and yeah, but just don't do it. I know people who have brought rocks back and have like taken pennies and stuff off of tombstones, and it seems like these are the individuals that a lot of bad and creepy stuff happened to. I mean, you're just asking for bad luck. Yeah, and there, like I said, there's been numerous cases in history where people have gone, like some of these monuments and things, and we'll grab like what was it, the one where all the saints were offed, and they kept all their skeletons and stuff in there. People would go in there and get rocks and bone fragments and stuff like that and take it home, and the next thing they knew, something bad would happen to them. Yeah, just leave that kind of stuff there unless you're really asking for it.
safe in, Nate began noticing that sharp objects, particularly knives, would go missing, only to be found in places he never left them, sometimes positioned in ways that felt deliberate, almost like they were being placed rather than dropped. One morning, he finally managed to catch it on camera. Have a look.
Alright guys, so I was just upstairs changing and I heard a loud ass crash down here. The dog ran down. She was in the kitchen getting water and she booked into here from the kitchen, so guessing it. I just felt the breath on me. So I'm guessing it came from the kitchen.
Dude, you got a lot of crazy stuff in the house, man. I mean, there's a lot of respect there, I guess I would say. Yeah, he kind of looks like a collector in a prepper.
Back door's locked.
You know, yeah, I got respect.
No.
Look at all the kitchen doodads.
No.
He's got all kinds of stuff.
No.
Oh, I see the knife now.
What is that? What is that in?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there.
Oh, that's stock in there. Holy sh...
Yeah, go ahead and pull the knife out of the wall. I mean, come on, man. Like it was just hanging there, sort of.
That door's locked.
What makes this even more unsettling is what happens as he tries to approach it. If you listen closely, there's a whisper. Some viewers are convinced they hear the words, "I'm gonna get ya," while others aren't entirely sure, but agree that whatever is being said doesn't sound friendly. At that point, concern around his situation grows, and many people begin advising him to try something different, something often suggested in cases like this: the ignoring method. He was told to give whatever it is as little attention as possible in the hope that it loses interest or weakens over time. So Nate tries it, and later, while explaining how it's been going, this happens.
So, I have been doing my best. I have been taking a conscious effort to ignore things when they start happening around the house. I will admit it's hard when they're happening like right in front of me, 5 feet away from me. I do take a second to just try to catch myself before I react. I have been working with not trying to engage with it, not talking to whatever it is. When things happen, I have, like I said, been taking a conscious effort to avoid it and just ignore it. Like some of you know, I have twins coming in September. So my main goal is to clear whatever energy or whatever it is in the house. I want it, doing my best to clear it out because I want to bring my twins home into a safe, loving environment where they don't have to worry about stuff like that. So any suggestions on what I can do to rid my house of this activity would be greatly appreciated. So if we can
Yep, there's no knife. My dude, you got problems.
How do you ignore that?
You got problems.
How do you ignore that?
I don't know what they are, but you got some problems.
Another knife, this time standing upright, stuck straight into the middle of the floor in a way that defies normal explanation. And if that wasn't enough, there was something else. A light orb moving across the floor, almost as if it's circling the same area. lingering around the object as if it's connected to it. This raises a disturbing thought, that whatever is in that house isn't just throwing things, it's showing itself in pieces. Because if something is willing to manipulate sharp objects like that, if it's capable of whispering threats, then ignoring it might not be enough. Aware, reactive, and capable of escalating its behavior. Now, this leaves a question that doesn't have a simple answer. When you're dealing with something you can't see, something you can't fully understand, is it a good idea to confront it? You decide. The following video was recorded during a school field trip to the mountains, and while the exact source of the clip remains unknown, it's widely believed that whoever captured it was either a student or a teacher accompanying the group on this trip, documenting what should have been a completely normal and uneventful journey. Everything about the setting feels routine: a bus filled with students, the quiet hum of the road, and the kind of casual distractions you'd expect, with people either talking among themselves or staring out at the mountain scenery passing by. Nothing about the moment suggests that anything unusual is about to happen, but as it turns out, something else may have been there with them, or at the very least, very close. What makes this clip especially unsettling is the fact that no one on the bus seems to notice anything at all, not during the moment, not while it's happening, which means whatever appears goes completely unseen until the footage is reviewed later. See if you can catch it.
Levanten las manos. ¿Qué mano me voy a morir? Sí.
Oh, hell no. Nope. 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 Mm-mm. Yeah, no. Absolutely not. What in the world? What in the world is that? Nope.
At first glance, everything seems normal, and technically it is, because nothing unusual appears inside the bus. But that's not where you should be looking. The key detail is the dash cam feed displayed on the TV inside the bus, which shows the road ahead in real time. And that's where it happens. For a brief moment, something passes in front of the bus. A figure, but not one that looks right. The movement is the first thing that stands out, because instead of walking naturally, it seems to stagger across the bridge, almost like it's limping or struggling to maintain balance. Its motion uneven and unnatural in a way that immediately feels off. Then there's the appearance. What looks like a pair of moving legs is clearly visible, but the rest of the body isn't. If something like that can be right in front of people and still go completely unseen, then how often does something like this happen without anyone ever knowing?
Alright guys, I will be back on at 12, or at least try to. We still have a big one tonight. I've been on for almost 3 hours this time. I'd like to thank everybody that's been here once again. You were brilliant, wonderful. You know, like I said, I love talking with you guys. And once again, stay paranoid, my friends. And